Y'all know what this means at this point. I got a story and a half for you, though. So let's start with this one. Because I had to. Yep. And then, the main attraction of today. This thing. Pre-ordered this. The story behind this is actually ludicrous. You're not going to believe it. It is not factory sealed because the shop that I go to checks every single model. This is why, because they received 8 of these to send out to people, and 6 of them were broken. That's how bad and how disappointing Gemini Jet's quality control is today. And there's even more disappointment when it comes to the model itself. We'll get there. 6 of them, the gear was bent 90 degrees, the nose gear. Completely useless. They also get models with antennas missing. They get models with, it is just insane how poor the quality control is. Clearly some guy in the factory just smashes the models in the box, doesn't care what they are, and sends them off. And Gemini has to deal with it. Does Gemini take any responsibility? I don't know. I don't think so. But I picked the best one I could. He said, you could take one of these 2 good ones because I was number 2 in line. There's one guy before me that pre-ordered and got one of them. So luckily they had 2. Just 2 out of the 8 that were actually good. So I picked the best one, and I'm glad I did because the other one that they said would pass quality control, I personally did not think that was that great. You'll notice something wrong with this box. Geeks who are keen about things will already know. It's quite obvious. This is not an A320. This is an A319. And I'm not even sure that's the reg number that is on this particular A320 aircraft. So they screwed up. Not something you'd notice if you weren't looking for it, but they screwed up. So, without further ado, let's take a look at what you get. Standard Gemini stand in there, as always. As I said, this was open in the store already because they have to inspect them, and I'm glad they do. So I'm just here showing you what you're going to get in yours. How it's packaged. Nice. Let's take the model out. Here it is, Gemini Jets, new release, A320. The gear on this one is about the best they come, which is poor, but it does sit right when you get it to sit right. You see that tilt forward. So this is their typical A320 mold, and you can see the CFM 56 engines there. They do spin just like the A319. This is a little bit different mold than the A319. The shape is a bit different. You can kind of tell. Another production quality thing that I noticed wrong on these is the gear, the rear gear. This one's pretty good, but some of them, this one is bent way out. This one, the quality control, like I said, is just poor from Gemini these days, and it's really unfortunate and disappointing to see. This was literally the best one in the store out of 8 of them. The finish on the engines is not great. It's that matte finish with a bit of poor quality control on the engines and the stampings themselves. This one too, overspray. All of them had overspray. All of them had some sort of chip out of the engine cowling lip there. All of them did. All of them have wing gap. So expect yours to come with a wing gap of some sort. You remember the United A321 we just did? Well, that was not far off on a good telltale sign on how new Gemini jets are going to be released. The A319 beats this out in every single way possible. The 319, I don't know why that model was so good, but it is one of the best works they've ever produced. And this one is not the worst. This one is barely passable by my standards, but it's not the best either. And that is quite obvious for a lot of reasons. So let's set it down, and I'll show you what it looks like sitting on the ground. So let a look around it one more time. Yeah, the gear, it's kind of weird. You gotta kind of be wonky with it to get it to sit right. Yeah, I don't know if I can. Yeah, like I said, if you put it on the ground, it works. The other models were just as bad, if not worse. Well, maybe that is an A320 on the box. I don't know. And that is the registration. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Sorry, if you got this far and I said that wrong, I apologize. That's what the guy in the store was saying, and I couldn't really know the difference. I don't know that, one of them has, just one door and 2 doors and whatever, so. All right. All right. So here's the model. Like I said, if you set it down on the gear right, it sits right, and I like it that it's able to tilt forward at least somewhat, because that's how the real ones sit. Here's the stand, which also is getting crappier quality. You didn't think they could get worse than this, but they can, because this part is fitting looser and looser. So that means the model's going to wibble wobble if you're not careful with it. The other ones, the older ones, at least they're tight and the model doesn't wibble wobble on it. But it's kind of what she looks like. Okay. Okay, so here it is, best I can get on the stand. As I said, not great. Not the worst one ever. It really isn't, but it's not exactly what they used to be. Just too bad. Passable to sit on the shelf, though. So, hope you enjoyed. Let's take it upstairs. Okay, well, we're gonna fly it up there. One thing I have to say about this A320, it is heavy. I don't know what they did to this one, but I literally felt a 777 that felt lighter than this model, which is crazy. Say hello to your new home. There's our A319 with shiny, glossy engine in near perfect shape. And our A320. This is mediocre. So I think I'm just going to leave it like that for now. Our Airbus shelf. You can see a little bit of the shape difference on the nose. I like the 19 better. Yeah, I think the 19 looks better. But it is what it is. The real one is probably a combo of both of them, so who knows. 747, you've seen this all before. So thanks for watching. Join me in the next one. Talk to you soon.